And we'll just start off with that.
Sounds great, sir. We're on live, so go right ahead, kind
All
sir.
right. Well, let me say hello to everyone and good evening. And thank you so much for tuning in. As always, thank you, Brother Chris,
Thank you,
here
sir.
on The Voice 17104 Harrisburg. Glad that you would take time to stop by. We're always on Facebook every Friday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., courtesy of The Voice 17104 Harrisburg and Brother Chris Thomas and all that he does. And we enjoy bringing you the Writer's Workshop. We have a lot of things coming up, and Juneteenth is right around the corner. We have some very special things planned for Juneteenth, and also there's a program next Saturday, actually, June the 10th, which I like to talk about right now, which is a writers' retreat, and it's going to be chock full of a lot of good stuff. It's a free retreat. It's held down at the Elizabethtown College Bowers Writers House. And you can see that wonderful flyer there that Brother Chris made for us. It's Saturday, June the 10th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We usually start at 9 in the morning and then go into about 5 or 6. But this time I actually have a speaking engagement on that Saturday morning. And so we're going to start at 11 and go to 6. It's free and it's open, especially to any writer of any genre, really, that would like to come in and be a part of it. We're going to have creative writing, sessions. We're going to talk about publishing and how to get published. We're going to do some one-on-one mentoring to those persons, especially those young people that are on their way to the national competition of the NAACP AXO, which will be held in Boston, Massachusetts this year in July. Looking forward to that. And any of the performance artists, such as oratory, spoken word, written word, all that kind of stuff. Anything with the humanities like that. We hope that young people come down. We'll get a chance to give them an opportunity to, present their work. And if we can give any kind of advice as they go forth, we'd like to do that because it's all about, helping young people find their voice and have that stage presence. Because a lot of people, can write, and some write better than others and all that, but presenting it is a whole different story. So you want to be able to present your work in such a way that it jumps off the page, and people understand it because you give it the voice that you want it to have. So we're going to do that kind of work, and we always have a nice little, luncheon. It's just a lot of fun. So if you are a writer and would love to, join us for a full day, it's about 7 hours or more of just sitting around with other writers and, getting to know them and know a little bit more about yourself. Join us. Give me a call. Let me know that you want to come. We actually have a van and we can take about 15 people down. And so we don't mind, picking you up or having you come, to out there to 900 South Arlington Avenue. And we'll drive from there down to Elizabethtown College and go to the Bowers Writers House. You'll be glad that you did. It's always been a lot of fun. And we hope to do this every other month. Thanks to Jesse Waters, who's the executive director there of the Bowers Writers House and an excellent poet himself. So, give me a call, 717-608-2312. And also you can email me at P as in Pat Gadsden, Gadsden at AOL.com. Again, it's a writer's retreat. And why do we do these retreats? Because every now and then you need to just quiet yourself, put yourself in a space where you can simply just concentrate on writing. And the reason why we do a retreat is because we want to make sure we're around other persons who inspire us to write. And out of the retreat that we've had over the past couple of years, we've had some excellent writing come out of these retreats. We've also had some outstanding persons come in and do presentations for us, such as Dan Brown, who's out of, I think, New Hampshire. Excellent writer. He was at one time married to Patricia Smith, who in fact was on the front cover of Writers Digest magazine just last month. And she's one of the preeminent poets in the country, if not in the world. She's very, very good. And also, we've had people like my brother Nathan Lee Gadsden, who has his master's in English and is an excellent writer and producer of many works, and other people as well. Ro Brady has been there and lent her voice, as well as Wendy Nocheonye and so many others. So anyhow, that's what it's all about. And we hope that you will come down. And we've had some young people such as London McLean, an award-winning poet for the AXO program, and also my man Taff Nocheonye, excellent poet who's a student down in Philadelphia. And in fact, London's a student at Kutztown University, and Taff is a student at the Philadelphia Culinary School. I forget the exact title, name of the school, but it's a culinary school in Philadelphia. He's doing quite well. And so, we have some alumni that's come our way. And so anyhow, that's what it's all about. Listen, there's a lot of things coming up as far as Juneteenth is concerned. And maybe Brother Chris might have some flyers and stuff that I don't know about. But I do know one thing is at Central Penn College. In fact, let me see what Brother Chris is pulling up here. Here you go. This is ours. We actually modified that Saturday, in fact. We're going to do another flyer due to a couple things that have transpired since this flyer was first created. We're still going to have a wonderful time. But Saturday morning, what is that, June the 17th, we're actually going to have more of a breakfast with activities, all kinds of activities from 8 until 12 at 900 South Arlington Avenue. The location will be the same. It will be an indoor event. And we may decide to take it outdoors if the weather's really good. But we're going to have food. We're going to serve a breakfast. So it's going to be a free breakfast until it lasts, so to speak. And we're just going to have a great time. Again, it's from 8 until 12. And that's Saturday, June the 17th. We're celebrating Juneteenth. And then the next day, we'll be down at the State Museum. And that, day is pretty much locked in. We're going to have the Winneman African dance community, and also the drummers from Lewa Koski's, I call it the dojo, but her artistic place. And they always provide, the drumming behind Lark Daniels and her wonderful group called the Winneman. And this can be interactive too, by the way. You're not just going to come and watch a performance. They will perform, but they're looking forward to having a workshop. So what's going to happen is that we're going to ask people like yourself to come up, get on stage, and they're going to show you different moves and different steps as far as African dance is concerned. And we hope to have about 10 drums there where you'll have a chance to learn how to become a African drummer, on the djembe is what they call it. And that's Lewa Koski's group. And also, like I said, Lark Daniels and the Winneman. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interactive. That program is on Sunday from 12 noon until 4 p.m. On that day, we'll have vendors. We're going to have all kinds of, hopefully some giveaways and a lot of fun as far as you getting up out of the seat and enjoying yourself with the African arts, such as dance and drumming. And there'll be some other things we do as well. So come on out. Now on Saturday, that's Saturday when we had the breakfast, we're going to have the, painting again, African painting. That sip and paint thing was really big for our pre-Mother's Day event. Also, we're going to have the bingo again and some other things we do that people seem to have a lot of fun with. So it's going to be very interactive as well. It's all about, we're going to remember what Juneteenth is all about. And then we're going to celebrate by simply coming together as a community and just having some fun together. Let's celebrate the long struggle that we've been through in this country and around the world. But look at us now. We're doing a whole lot better than what we used to do. And we still got a long ways to go. But we're going to celebrate Juneteenth. And Juneteenth is, was when we recognize that, the era of slavery supposedly was declared over. But there were a whole bunch of brothers and sisters down in Texas, deep in Texas, who had not gotten the word. And when the word finally got to them, the freeing of the quote unquote slaves, that's what this celebration is all about. The realization that the era of slavery was supposedly come to an end. And I know that they have all kinds of forms of slavery. And one of the forms of slavery is called the Jim Crow era, where we begin to be regulated by these so-called rules and regulations that were geared to us, coming in right on the back of the bus, not entering into a restaurant through the front door, not being able to sit at a counter, such as Woolworths, and being served because we were African Americans. All kinds of craziness was going on. And I remember seeing a white professor down in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. And he broke that thing down. He said, don't let anyone tell you that Jim Crow era was not as bad as, or just as worse, maybe even than slavery, because, you thought you were free, but they were doing all kinds of stuff with us. 12 years a slave was about a person who was free, but that was taken into captivity and held for 12 years as a slave, an enslaved person, even though he was a freeman. And then there was a story about some people, I think it was in Texas once again, it could have been another southern state, but there were a number of people who were just simply captured. They were walking down the street, going to school, going to work, whatever. And this one farmer and his family decided that they would capture people and still make them slaves. And the one guy in particular who was only about 6 or 7, was only 1 mile away from his home. First off, he was captured. They could not find him. And here they had him on this plantation. And finally, someone, blew the whistle and they went in, the marshals did. And this guy tried to kill all the slaves before the marshals could get to him and ended up killing him. The marshals did. That's a story that's yet to really be told and unpacked. We know about 12 years a slave and all that, but there's so many stories like that we still have never really heard or been vetted. And so that's what Juneteenth is all about. And thank God that it's now a national celebration so that we understand just how devastating that was. There's always a backlash, though. And I know that there are a whole group of people running around here calling themselves conservative, and they're talking about, banning books that has anything to do with race. They're talking about critical race theory. You can't even talk about, the history of this country that was really an abomination. It had what you call apartheid here in America, separate, you're not equal, you're not even trying to be equal. And, here they're saying we can't talk about that because it might damage the kids. Yeah, sure. How about the damage that you did to us, all those years and still do, when you couldn't even have images that look like us. How many years did we go in this country? You couldn't even put a black face on TV. It just wasn't acceptable. And then when we did have 1 or 2, it was just 1 or 2. And it was just so obvious that any person of color in particular, especially African people, just were not seen as being viable. And it wasn't until the civil rights era, the civil rights movement and all that took place, And writing was always a part of the movement, by the way. Where we have been, had it not been for the orators, such as Martin Luther King and others, Fred Hampton, so many people, Malcolm X, that, gave voice to the revolution. And then along came the poets, the last poets, Nikki Giovanni, Sonia Sanchez, Haki Mahabuti, Leroy Jones, Etheridge Knight. It goes on and on and on down the line of all those great voices, that's in the civil rights movement, but how about even before them, County Cullen and, James Weldon Johnson and, just so many of them. I can't even name them all and shouldn't have to name them all, but Gwendolyn Brooks and on down the line. There were voices being given to the revolution way before the 60s and 50s and all that, because, we had to tell the story. And thank God someone did tell the story. And then there were great writers. Zora Neale Hurston was not heralded when she was alive, but after she, died, people began to examine her works and determined that she was a great writer who was writing about things that needed to be said. But back in the day when she said it, it was revolutionary and people were not comfortable. And so they tried to push it up under the rug or hide it or demean it, but she was talking about, change and the condition of our people. James Baldwin, this work that he has put out there for years, and all the other great writers, far too many to mention, but they were there. And the revolution, would not have been not only not televised, it would have not even been in print had it not been for those persons who braved to tell the story, from the newspapers to the ebony magazines of the world to the Sepia magazine, to people who are just great orators and all that. The spoken word, the written word has been a powerful tool for our people. And we should forget that. And also that spoken word was found in the lyrics of a song. So music was also a part of the revolution. And it wasn't just the music, but it was the lyrics of the song, and great songs, in fact, there's one called Music, I think it's called Music of the Revolution. And I remember when we went to Cincinnati with the NAACP AXO program, I was able to show that video, and the Sound of the Revolution, I think it's called. And boy, I tell you, when you look at the images of all the stuff that was going on, from busing to, to lynchings to everything else, but then the music that went along with that, Powerful stuff, powerful imagery, and it invigorated us and got us out there, to do something. So that's what that's all about. So we still need writers. We still need writers to tell the story, writers to be reflective, and no one's saying you have to be a revolutionary writer. Just be a writer. There are a lot of great creative minds out there who have yet to be discovered, and many who have been discovered. But just write. You never know where it's going to take you. But for sure, if you don't write, then you can't tell the story. But if you do write, and set back, and who knows? Who knows who's going to pick up your work and tell the story? And sometimes the story will be told after you have gone. But you know what? It can be told because you wrote it. And so, don't sleep on that. A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't write." Yes, you can. Just do it. And then we can always be cleaned up. I mean, I'm no great writer for sure, but I know for one thing, when I do write something, I expect it to hopefully have some life, and someone will pick it up and hopefully be blessed by it. And something I had to say actually mattered, and I think that's important. We do have some great things coming up again. Let me tell you about Juneteenth one more time, and I know we'll be joined by some folks tonight. And when they come on, they'll tell you what's going on in that part of the world. But at Central Penn College over there in, I always say Enola, it's not Enola. Let me see, where's that located? It doesn't say on there. But anyhow, Central Penn College, right across the river here, they're going to have a Juneteenth celebration presented by the Black Student Union. It's going to be an art show and evening with John Graves Productions. Okay, it says visit the Central Penn Conference Center between 4 and 5:30 p.m. To view incredible art pieces from PAVA Art Gallery, and enjoy some light hors d'oeuvres, and then make your way, it says, to the Capitol Blue Cross Theater for an evening of music, dance, and theater with the acclaimed John Graves production, Free for All, CPC family, and the extended community. So it's a free program. It is at the PAVA Gallery and the Conference Center, and from 4 to 5:30 p.m. and then from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Capitol Blue Cross Theater, which is on the campus of the Central Penn College, which is a beautiful college, by the way. You'll have the John Graves Productions, and I'm looking forward to that. It sounds great. And when is this? It is on, let me see here. I don't know if I see a date. Okay, now maybe it's on that Monday, but I don't necessarily see a date on this flyer, which is kind of interesting. So I'll find out more about this and let you know when it is being held. It does give us times, but it doesn't give us a date. And this is actually a beautiful flyer, as you can see. Okay, yeah, nice flyer, very nicely done. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine if it's on that Monday, that's the 19th, of course, and that would be Juneteenth. Yeah, so we'll find out more about that and get that to you, all right? Now and again, we're having some programs through the Writers Wordshop. I already mentioned some of those two things that we're going to do on the Saturday the 17th and Sunday the 18th. But there's a list out, and my goodness, I don't think I brought it in. And I should have brought it in. I said I was going to bring it in last time. But anyhow, UPMC put out a wonderful list of all the activities that will be taking place that they know of in Central Pennsylvania around Juneteenth. I know the city of Harrisburg has something going on. Some of our local churches have things that they've planned out. And even some things will even start like the 10th, next Saturday, celebrating Juneteenth. So there's a lot of activities going on, and hopefully we'll get our hands on those, and maybe I'll get them to Brother Chris and he can advertise them as well throughout the week, just letting you know about them. Most of these things are free. There's something coming up that's going to be very, very interesting, and I can't call the name of it, but it's going to take place, I believe, on June the 21st through the 24th or the 25th. Let me make sure about that. June the 21st is a Wednesday, and it goes through that Sunday, I believe. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. 21st through the 25th. It's going to be held at Reservoir Park, and it will be from 9 a.m. in the morning until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And they're going to have music and food trucks. They're going to have all kinds of speakers and entertainment. It's 5 days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 days of a full, almost a full day. And let me see, Brother Chris has, there it goes, right there. June 21st to the 25th, 5 days of speakers to stop the violence. Blind Justice is who's behind this. And there's a gentleman, as you can see, is up in the corner there, Ricky. Can't see his full name there, but his first name I see is Ricky. Or is that? I think that's what it is. And he is a gentleman who I think was blinded by, actually blinded by violence, due to violence. And you can also, and so he is the person that's a spearhead behind this. You can also see that Eric Jackson, the Reverend Eric Jackson, will be the MC, a master of ceremonies for this. Music provided by DJ Godfather. And they will have all kinds of speakers, way too many to mention, but a lot of people dealing with mental health, a lot of people dealing with, just policing and, not just the regular police. I mean, we always need them, but also just the community policing itself and stopping the violence around us and speaking up and not letting things just go past us. It's a very ambitious program. It says free food, games for kids. It's free to the public. And there are a number of pastors who have come together along with the central organizer of this event to make this, happen. And again, and I say it's a very ambitious schedule from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But I hope to be there as much as I possibly can. And I hope that you will consider being there as well, because we have to stop the violence in our communities. And, I saw something recently where it talked about people who were incarcerated, people were murdered. It was just going on and on. It said, and unfortunately, 60% of the people that they were talking about, 60% were people of African American descent. So here we are, 14 to 15% of the entire population. Some people think it might be more like 13%. But, we find ourselves oftentimes, well over 50%, like I said, 60% in this case of the criminal justice system. A lot of reasons behind it, but there's also a lot of violence that happens within our communities, and we have to be clear about that. That it has to stop, and it can stop because we are in control of our lives, our emotions, our attitudes, and all that stuff is up to us. And so I know a lot of our brothers and sisters, they walk around with that I don't give a damn kind of mentality, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and they're the baddest things walking. And I don't know how many times you can turn on, Facebook and see people fighting, in the streets, fighting in some establishments, some business, whatever. There's a lot of anger out there. And brothers and sisters, this is really all up to us. We have got to figure this thing out. We really truly do. But anyhow, just kind of talking here a little bit, and I'm going to lift up some writings here. And I love lifting up some of the poetry and various, writers that we have in our midst. One of the things I want to tell you is that we're hoping to put out another anthology. I just got to talking to the publisher, and I've asked her to put together the guidelines for how it is to be submitted. Last time we had people submitting all kinds of different ways, and that became very problematic for the publisher. This time it's going to have to be, one way, and the only way that it will be accepted, your works. And if you can't do it yourself, then, find someone that can help you put it in the format that it needs to be put into, so that we can move this thing along and make this thing happen. But we talked about it all 2022, and it never happened. This is 2023, and we want to get back into the groove. We had an anthology out in 2021, I believe it was, and that was a great thing. And that anthology is still doing well. But now it's time to hear some new voices, and even some of the older writers who have written some new stuff. We want to get it into a format that is, that people can pick up and enjoy. By the way, we also have coming a Writers Wordshop magazine, and it'll be an online magazine. And the person who's putting it together, she is fantastic and doing a great job. And I want to thank Nicole Wilkerson for hooking us up. Sarita Henderson is her name, the person who will be, putting this news magazine together for us, or magazine together for us. And she's just a great person, an easy person to work with. And so anyhow, we're looking forward to launching the magazine sometime in July. I think the first part of July. There's going to be a deadline, I think, of the 15th of this month. with a little bit of wiggle room the first time around. And, because we know that you're just hearing about it, but we want articles, we want poetry, we want upcoming events, all kinds of stuff we like to put in there. We don't want it to be too big because, it can be problematic, but we want it to be a nice sized magazine that people can enjoy and give you an opportunity to become a published writer, a published author by contributing to the magazine. So that's what we're going to do. And we hope that you will support it or like it. And we hope that we can get some advertisers to, support it as well. So we can help it to grow and stay. Because a lot of times things will start and they last for a little while and then they're gone. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something that's going to be vibrant and, useful and worthy of your attention. And hopefully we'll be around for a good long time. Okay. That's what that's all about. One of the little books I put together long ago is this little book right here. And it's called All Things Considered. And I'm going to get back to this format one day. That's poetry and essays. And it's an older piece now, but it's been out for a little while. In fact, when did I publish this? This came out in 2016. Yeah, 2016. And, Sister Carla Christopher and others who have a wonderful press, they were down out of York, helped put this together. I was so happy to work with Carla. Carla is a first-class person who's now a pastor. She's pastoring a church down in York and just doing great work. I'm going to read a couple pieces out of this today, and then also share with you some other things that that are not my own, but that I feel are outstanding writings. And then we'll talk. If you have a desire to come on and you'd like to be a part of the Writers Workshop tonight, and come on and read your works, or you have an event that you want to talk about, I'm wide open for it. Just give me a call, and I will give you the call letters to get on this program. I'm at 717-608-2312. We'll be on to 9 o'clock, 717-608-2312. One of the benchmarks and highlights of this program, by the way, is that we always do videos that Brother Chris pulls up for us, and he usually pulls up about 4. And sometimes we get to all 4, and sometimes we don't, but they're always great videos. So I'm going to read a piece or two, and then we're going to go to our first video tonight. It's already 7:35. And again, if you would like to come on and be a part of this, you can. I know we'll be joined a little bit later by a couple of the writers who always come on. You can be one of those persons, okay? This is a love poem for Patricia, my wife and my friend. It says, the sun sets on you through your smile. Smile more often. You are the welcome mat to my happy home. You are the morning. Our routine is a dance with many spiritual rifts. God is between us. I hold you each hour of each day, sometimes at a distance emotionally, but always near, lovingly. Some days we have storms to struggle through. Jesus walks with us. Most days we are what we long for and make together. We do good things by grace. Separate, we are equal to one whole gift. We are blessed. We are a journey worth each step without destination. I couldn't travel without you. Warmly, we have embraced the midnight morning dawn. May my life with you go on and on and on until God makes our new home worthy of his eternal sanctuary. And that is a love poem for my wife, Patricia. This is a piece says, yes, we can. Yes, we can. That was the motto for the first run of the White House for President Barack Obama. And boy, you say to yourself, wait a minute, in my lifetime, I'm 72 years old now, and we would say in my lifetime, we'll never see a Black president in these United States. And then along comes Barack. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. And here's what this says. This is an essay that I wrote a little while back. It says, race matters. How we treat this one simple fact of American life also matters. The historical oppression of people of color in America is well documented and studied by scholars and by persons alike. There are courses at prestigious universities that analyze the impact of civil rights laws and mass movement protests. There are discussions springing up at pubs and restaurants in every city and township of America concerning race that are emotionally charged and extremely personal. Sometimes these discussions sound more like personal commentary of like-minded individuals who agree on a basic, quote, truth of fact, end quote. Other times, discussion sounds like two or more persons who have agreed to take a stand, not listen to each other, and talk louder than the next person. And there are those times when the discussions sound more like a give and take between two or more individuals who are truly exploring the perplexing question about race relationships in America today. One thing is for sure, race in America matters, and we are talking about it. In the course of the past 12 months, I have participated in a number of forums, trainings, and impromptu discussions concerning race relations. Recently, while attending a 3-day advanced training on anti-racism sponsored by the Lancaster WCA of Pennsylvania, Cultural Bridges to Justice program. That was the name of the program, Cultural Bridges to Justice. I was surprised at my level of frustration when a white female classmate questioned why we had Black colleges. She said something to the effect of, "What would you say if we had white colleges?" I was floored by the question. My inner anger rose quickly to answer her question. She then followed her initial comment with, "I'm not responsible for slavery." I almost leaped out of my seat. The training was being facilitated by two outstanding trainers, Iona Olson and Achabi Powell. Trainer Achabi Powell picked up on my passion and verbal domination of our small discussion group. She quickly encouraged others to join in the conversation and told me to pull back a bit, which I did without hesitation. And this was good for me and the group. After our session was over for the day, I shared with my wife, another participant in the class, who was in a different small group, my level of frustration with the question and comments of my white colleague. As an African-American male who has participated in the American Civil Rights Movement since the early 60s, I found her positions an affront, to say the least. How could she possibly think that her comments would not offend me? I was consumed with her voice in my head for the rest of the evening. I was hooked. It wasn't until the afternoon of the next day's class that I began to examine my response instead of her comments. I watched her body language and listened to all of her comments the morning of the second class. And as the day progressed, I realized that this class was preparing us to respond in a rational manner to people who may not have the same level of understanding that she has. The class was not about her questions and comments, no matter how misguided or unintentional I thought they were. Rather, the class was about our ability to answer the question and confront the comment with intelligence, perception, care, and compassion. I was hooked, and I let her very real question anger me. I've always heard that he who angers you controls you. It dawned on me that I made her question a personal attack as opposed to an honest, heartfelt question from someone with a different point of view. The real question for me was, Nate, are you ready to fight for Dr. Martin Luther King's vision of the beloved community? During the 3-day anti-racism training, we participated in an activity that forced us to confront a real statement or situation that created passionate discussions on race. The process was to break into groups of 3, have one person read a statement posted on the bulletin board, one person respond to the statement, and then the 2 non-responders give feedback on the response. The non-responders could point out if the responder was clear in their response, was argumentative, was frustrated, demonstrated a level of knowledge, or needed a more skilled approach to answer the question. The objective of the course was to train individuals who were lifelong advocates against racism and the effects of living in a racist society. We learned new terminology, participated in a lot of fun learning activities, and confronted our own internalized racial prejudice. We also had an opportunity to have a, quote, real talking, quote, session that was divided by persons of color in one group and whites in another group. The guided discussion was very interesting and enlightening. We learned things about one another and discovered things about ourselves that had been buried for a long time. What I discovered about myself is that I have a very passionate perspective on the treatment of African-American people and people of color, which sometimes causes me to not fully engage white people. I have the same reaction to persons of my own race who I feel have adopted a white European ideology and lifestyle. I fully realize that I am not going to give up my Pan-African ideology or abandon my African-centered lifestyle. But what I have come to realize is that I am interested in creating the beloved community, where the elimination of racism and the establishment of equality for all is a way of life and not just a distant goal. I fully embrace Christian values, the values of Kwanzaa, and all universal principles, regardless of race, sexual orientation, ethnic background, and religious doctrine that call for love, peace, and equality among all human beings. I want to be on the battlefield, this battlefield. I want to be an racism advocate. I want to be against all isms that separate us. I want to be who I am, love that I am, develop who I am, and embrace all of who I am without doing harm to others. I want to confront ignorance with the objective of educating, not destroying. I want to be open to change for my growth as a better humanitarian can be enhanced. I want to strive to let my Christian and Kwanzaa values be clearly evident in my daily living. I want to strive to treat my neighbor as I would want to be treated. I want to strive to define my neighbor as anyone that I come in contact with. With this being said, the question is, can we ever make real the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King's beloved community? Yes, we can, but it's going to take a concerted effort on all of our parts for this dream to come true. We must all make an effort to confront our own racism and discrimination. We must get comfortable with who we are without feeling that we have to be better, greater, or less than someone else. We must agree to disagree at times, but work hard not to become disagreeable and unreasonable. We must confront our own mistakes and tell the truth about our shortcomings. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. No excuses. Let's start today. Many of us already have. Join us. No matter where you live in this great big world of ours, there's someone planting seeds for the beloved community to grow. There's someone trying to end racism. Find them. Join in the struggle. Be courageous. That's a piece of road, like I said, long ago about, 9 years ago, I guess now. About 2016, about 7 years ago, actually. And I still hold true to that. I believe that sometimes the introspection, looking into your own self, is as important as, trying to dissect somebody else, probably more important. Because if you don't understand yourself, know yourself, you're prone to do things that will be self-destructive. And that's not what we want to do. And you may even find yourself destroying, someone who you disagree with, or you just don't, see as being worthy for some reason. And next thing you know, you find yourself doing harm to a person rather than really striving for that beloved community. So that's what that's all about. Anyhow, I just wanted to kind of, throw it out there. This is one little piece I wrote, and also the little piece that I did for my wife. At this time, I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he'll bring up our first video for tonight. And again, you're tuned into the Writer's Wordshop. I'm Nathaniel Gadsden. We come on every Friday night right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. Here we go.
It's a day lacking surety, taking chance and opportunity to step outside of old plans into something that's new to me and follow God's direction into seminary study. Hoping my eyes will be opened by this direction that seems muddy. And as I sit within 573, I wonder what newness this place will bring to me. Will this bring life or harm? Bear fruit or weeds? Will this freshen my scars or provide what I need? Is this the direction of destiny or choice made desperately? All this ambiguity has really left me questioning. See, these months filled with questions.
I know technical difficulty.
A year filled with tensions. Despite former apprehension, I'm trusting in this direction, this meaningful future, changing lives through truth, but only time will tell if this will sprout for me new buds. Even if this journey doesn't bring roses, I know that from within an anthology composes, and in chaos, triumph, life will flow. And I will continue building this, I know.
All about taking risks.
Behold, I have put my words in your mouth. See?
I like that piece, Chris. Thank you, man. Yeah. And, I know that every now and then, we sit back and we say to ourselves, should I try that? Taking risks. Yeah. Sometimes we have to step out on faith and see whether or not, where it's going to take us. And we take that risk of at least trying. That's one thing I hope that you will do. Those of you who are thinking about becoming a writer of any, shape or form, you don't have to have a major book out to consider yourself a writer. Writers write, period, plain and simple. And so what you write and how you write is up to you. It really is. And who knows what's going to catch on these days. You have something to say it. You have a perspective, share it. You're a researcher and you uncover something, let the world in on it. Let everybody else know what it's all about. And it's amazing what can happen. I just saw where on Channel 27, they did a wonderful piece called the 1619 Project. And that had aired, I think, on HBO, one of those, stations, not probably HBO, but Netflix. And it was like a 6-part series, I believe. And so what Channel 20, ABC did was they did episodes from the 6-part series. And I think they made it like 3 hours, like from 8 to 11. And it was just really well done. I mean, it just a powerful piece. I'm just drawing a blank on the sister who won the, I think she won like a Pulitzer Prize for this work. But anyhow, it was well worth seeing if you haven't seen it before. In fact, you might be able to catch it on Netflix. I believe that's where I caught it. And if not, it's on one of those platforms, believe you me. It's called the 1619 Project. And sister does an excellent job of examining, African-American people and the history of our people in this country and around the world, literally. So, check that out. Okay. All right. And if you find yourself, like I said, if you're, not sure whether or not you can do it, take that risk, listen to what the poet just said, step out on faith and, take that risk and try, because you'll be surprised how there's somebody somewhere who's going to be excited about reading what you have to say, discussing it, whether or not they fully agree with it or not. The fact that you put it in writing, gives them a chance to explore your thoughts or mind on a particular subject. So, step out on faith, do it, take a risk, take a risk in becoming the writer, the voice that you you have. We used to always say, thanks to Brother Claude Lewis, poet laureate for the city of Harrisburg, who is a longtime member of the Writers Wordshop. He would always say, it's a great way to spend a Friday evening, but also, oh boy, I just lost it. There's something about the voice. You talk about the voice, and it's so important that we do recognize and find our own voice, because you do have it. That doesn't mean, you're just going to get out there and go, no, you might be shy, you might be nervous and all that kind of stuff, but that's part of the program, that comes along with the territory. But the fact that you share it, hey, and then when someone encourages you, you'll be like, wow. Next thing you know, you can write, because, you realize that somebody is listening. And that's a big part of it, that somebody's actually listening, Now, question, how did you spend your Memorial Day weekend? Did you get involved? Did you, find something to do? Did you, just go to work? Some people had to work, and the world had to keep moving. So they had to go to work and do what they had to do. And that was okay with them. Some of them got time and a half and all that kind of good stuff. And then others, like we got the family together impromptu and said, hey, let's go bowling. And we went bowling. We had a good time. Went out to the ABC lanes out there off of, what street is that? Runningham. It was a great time. It was an excellent time. And we need to do that kind of stuff more often. It inspired me to want to write something, to see everybody laughing, having a good time. And the youngest children who had to be helped with the balls and rolling, all that kind of stuff, they had to put the side rails up, and also they had the little thing to put the ball up top and just push the ball. And the kids were just excited to see the ball go down that aisle and maybe hit a strike or whatever, And of course, as adults, we're competitive and everybody's trying to do that thing. I found out that with my neck and the way it is, I cannot bowl right now. There was no way I could get out there and try to throw that ball. I was going in the gutter every time I did. I said, okay, I'm just here to have some fun there. And that's what I did. Just lay back and have fun. So, hope that you had yourself a good time no matter where you were, and no matter where you are. Don't forget, please support us and come out and enjoy yourself for Juneteenth. We had 2 outstanding sponsors in Giant Food and Aetna Insurance. And they have supplied us with a lot of, great manpower, fuel as far as funding is concerned, to be able to bring in some activities, bring in speakers and all that good stuff. We're going to have a great time on June the 17th and 18th. June the 17th is at 900 South Arlington Avenue. It's a breakfast from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. And we're going to have all kinds of activities and different things going on. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be very interactive. Like I said, we'll do bingo again. We're going to do the face painting. I mean, not the face painting, but the painting, paint and sip activities for adults. And we're going to have things for kids as well. It's going to be fun. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be fun. And all ages are invited to come out. And we want your family to come out and be a part of it. Then the very next day, we're going to be at the State Museum, and you're going to learn how to do African dance and drumming. Unfortunately, for that Saturday, we were advertising with Felda Thomas, the great stilt walker, but she could not come up in the morning. She'll have to come up later that afternoon. But we decided that there's so much going on. We decided that we're just not going to push beyond 12 noon on June the 17th, because we want people to take care and take advantage of other things that are going on, which there are many. But at the same time, enjoy us as well. Going out and have some fun. That's what we do. Okay. Hey, listen, I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he doesn't mind pulling up another video. It's about 5 minutes to 8. If we can do one more video on this side of the equation, and then as we move to that second hour, we'll do another video. I will share another reading here shortly as well. Okay.
Initially, I didn't know what to call it, but I remember when I first felt it, I hated the way it made me feel, but still I couldn't let people know that I held it. It weakened me, but I refused to let people see the weak in me. It felt like it was eating me from the inside out, and it made me want to tear the uneasiness from my insides out. My heartbeat, suited for house music, along with the heart pace, each thought race, no route to it. The nervousness, the worry, it sprouts too quick. The panic becomes organic, and I guess I just gotta plow through it. So I do my best to remain calm as the butterflies in my stomach result in sweaty palms. Friends keep asking me why I'm so quiet. I tell them I'm just tired and that nothing's wrong, while all along I just wanna go home and be alone. Because large crowds make me feel small and as though I'm in danger, and I desperately try to keep my eye on every single stranger. Meeting a bunch of new people brings so much pressure to my chest, and I don't talk a lot. I often watch and I let them do the rest. Sometimes I'm scared to succeed. I mean, what if I can't keep it up? Scared of how I'm perceived by the people who show me love. And when the news reports another senseless killing, I am soon engorged in an intense feeling. Thinking of the worst outcomes, I worry about my friends and family, constantly wondering if we'll all soon see a tragedy. I'm asking God to protect them and to look after me while I'm looking over my shoulder and around every corner to make sure no one is after me. And I know that's irrational, but sometimes I feel so nervous I don't even speak properly. I know what I want to say, but the message I try to convey comes out sloppy. See, it's the overthinking, the self-consciousness, the sleepless nights, the nauseousness, the feeling as though I can barely breathe. But I try not to be obvious. I feel terrified and paralyzed, and yet I force a smile through all of it. Self-diagnosis, I'm calling it. This is anxiety, and it resides in me so vibrantly, but I keep it inside of me, quietly, outwardly smiling. Inward emotions collide so violently, and if I can be a person who struggles with a moderate level of anxiety, imagine those who deal with it severely and how every day for them is a fight to breathe, a fight for peace, a fight to be okay.
My name is Brad, and I always battle
Hey,
with
how you
anxiety.
doing, Annette?
My name is.
You're muted right there. You go.
I can't complain.
All right. I'm so glad you came and joined us.
Yeah, I just got in the house. I had some running around to do because our pageant starts, well, we start organizing tomorrow, and then it's going to be on Sunday at Red Lion.
Oh, okay. This coming Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Tell us about it.
Well, the pageant is Miss Senior Pennsylvania pageant, and it's for contestants that are 60 and over, have to be 60 and over, and they will meet and greet tomorrow, and then we're going to have some snacks and a little orientation, and then on Sunday at 3:00, I think they might have they'll have rehearsals, I think maybe Sunday morning, getting things together, but we're setting up tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, think about this for a minute, because you've been with this pageant now for a while.
Since
And
2011.
you actually were a big time winner in the pageant. You came in second place in the nation, right?
Yep. For
Yeah.
the
So why don't
nationals.
you write about it in the nationals? Yeah. So why don't you write about it one day? I mean, just sit down and think about maybe you have pictures.
Oh, I have lots of pictures.
Yeah. So one of the things you could do is put together a book where you have a lot of pictures and just put some captions or some, do like a forward to the book and talk about the pageant and all of your experience in it, and just speak from a personal standpoint, and then show the pictures and have little captions under, tell us who the person is in the picture, something like that. But just give your impressions and your thoughts about how you got into it, why you got into it, how you would encourage other people to, be a part of it. There you go. Beautiful picture too. Yeah, beautiful picture.
2011.
2011, and you were Miss Pennsylvania.
I was slimmer and all this stuff.
Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. No, you look great though. And that was 2011, but you were Miss Pennsylvania, and then you came in, you said, what was it? First runner-up?
Nationals. Huh?
And then you went to the Nationals.
Yeah. In Atlantic
And what
City.
happened?
I came in second. Yeah. Second
Came in
place.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
It was 39 states represented that year.
39 states.
Oh, where are you finding these pictures?
Oh yeah. Chris is the man. He knows how to dig stuff up.
Oh, I don't even think I had that.
Look at that crown. That looks great. Beautiful. Yeah. Yes, indeed. But think about it as a writer, though. Putting together a book is not that easy, not that hard to do, because you have all those pictures. You could write about your experience, and then just some general information about the pageant itself, which I'm sure is written somewhere, and you can put your own book out.
Well, we do have all the Pennsylvania queens that wrote something and put something in this book, and we can't seem to find it. We don't know where it's at or who had it last, you know?
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
No.
so,
Yeah. Well, oh, look at that. That's great stuff. And the lady in the red is Esmeralda, right?
yeah, that's Esmeralda. She had to be 2 years because of the pandemic. Yeah,
And she was national queen. Is that right?
yes, she was national also, yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. And the women and what's the starting age? In order to enter in, you have to be what?
You have to be 60 and over and have some kind of talent or make something up.
60 and over. Okay. Make something up.
Philosophy
Have
in
some
life.
talent. I got you.
Well, there's a lot of made up. One lady baked some pies one year, for her talent. That's what she did.
Wow.
Yeah, they had some that did like artists and stuff like that. They drew stuff right there on the stage.
Oh,
Really good. Yeah,
okay.
all kinds of talent.
Now, where you said it's going to be in Atlantic City this year?
It's going to be at the Tropicana in Atlantic City this year.
Tropicana. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Wow.
The last couple years, it was at the resort.
Okay. In
Yeah,
Atlantic City?
resort. Huh?
In Atlantic City at the resort?
Yeah, Atlantic City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called, the resort casino. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
casino. Yeah.
Good stuff. That's great. This is a real deal.
Yeah, you meet a lot of people from all over the states and interesting people. I mean, they're all different fields of walks of life, doctors, lawyers. I mean, all kinds of people that just want some excitement and let people know that, seniors aren't dead and we're still alive.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we call it's the age of elegance and maturity.
Well, you're a writer, and so I hope that you'll write about that, like I said, and you don't have to write a major book. You have all those pictures to tell the story as well. And but you have one at a high level, so you can talk about, entering into the local pageant, going to the nationals, and then being with it. Because you've been with this now for a long time. So do you play another role? Because you're not competing now, I would take it, or do you still compete?
No, I'm not competing. No, I mean, once a queen, always a queen. So we're a sisterhood now. We have a cameo club, and we all help out. All have our own talents. We do our showcases, mostly senior homes or retirement homes. Before the pandemic, we were really active.
Yeah. So, question for you: like, what roles have you played, or have you done to help support the pageant over the years?
What roles? Well, financial support, I guess you would say, and just being supportive with, the new queens. And I mean, I told them, put me wherever you need me,
Okay, so you've been volunteering in all kinds of different capacities.
Oh yeah, volunteer. I mean, we're going to do a couple raffles. I have 2 bikes that I'm going to donate that they're going to raffle off. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good stuff. That's great. So I'm just trying to give you, heads up on things that you could write about. Because you've done many different things. Yeah, so you've done a lot, So just a thought. You don't have to do it, of course. I mean, but I'm just encouraging you to do it. I mean, who can tell the story better than you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope, I mean, seems like I got so much stuff going on. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
In my life,
That's life.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing that you have stuff going on. Right?
Yeah. But now, I mean, I'm having some physical, I mean, I'm going to the chiropractor.
Oh,
two times a week. I guess for the next couple of weeks. And I also go for therapy out at the Bloom building, physical therapy, because of my back and my hip,
Yeah.
They say it's neuropathy, it's sciatic, different things that they say.
Yeah,
when you start getting old, I tell people, well, I went to bed young, and when I woke up, I was old.
That's right. Hey, your body tells you exactly who you are. I know. It's like, man, I would have never thought I would be walking around here, flexing my neck and all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is, The stuff sets in on you, and it is what it is. But thank goodness we're still here, still doing what we're doing, right? Still able to
Yesterday
move
morning,
around?
yesterday morning, I went to UPNC over across the river to the surgeon. I had a sebaceous cyst taken off my neck. I
Oh,
thought
wow.
it was like a pimple. And
Yeah,
it just kept, it didn't look good. It was ugly, like a big black pimple there.
yeah.
So he decided to just take it off. He said it
Okay.
was sebaceous cyst, not cancerous or nothing.
Yeah, I never heard of that. Sebaceous cyst.
You never heard of them?
No, never heard of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
they can be all over your body.
Okay.
Google it.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm
And-
sure.
and
I
see
know
that
I've
ugly
seen them.
stuff
I
that
just didn't know
comes
what they
up.
were called. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, they some of them are like pussy and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was like a big pimple,
Okay.
a big blackhead or whatever you want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But now, that's interesting. I know one time I had a sort of a mole and it kind of was like hanging out, and the doctors took a piece of what is it, thread, and she tied it real tight and cut off the circulation. And one day the thing just fell off.
I
She
did
said
that to my own.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, just." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm thinking they're gonna have to burn it off, cut it off. I don't know what to do.
No, just take a piece of string.
That's right. Tie
Yeah.
that thing tight, and that was that. So it is what it is. So listen, do you know of any of the Juneteenth activities coming up?
Juneteenth.
Yeah, do you know of anything
Only
coming
what
up?
I've seen on Facebook. That's only. I mean, I can't recall.
Yeah,
Everything that I saw, but that's the only thing I know that's coming up.
yeah. There's a lot on Facebook, and I will encourage people to look on Facebook. Also, our brother Chris pulled up for us an event that's going to take place in Reservoir Park on June the 21st through the 25th. And it's going to be very ambitious. It's from 9 a.m. every day until 4 p.m. And they're going to have all kinds of speakers and food trucks and everything else. But from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon every day, And that's a Wednesday. The 21st is a Wednesday. It goes through Sunday. So wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's hope there's a good turnout.
Yeah. Well,
It's about stopping the violence.
yeah. I'm planning, well, my family, we're going to Disney World, or going to Florida on the 26th, the Sunday to Sunday, but we leave on the 26th.
And you're going to Disney World?
Yeah, we're going to be, well, at least twice we're going to go to a park. But my daughter has a timeshare down there, so all of us are going to be down there. She has different rooms and stuff like that.
That's excellent. That's fantastic.
I was thinking about the heat, though.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be fantastic too. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, no, I've been saying that I've put Disney World on my bucket list. I went years ago back in the 70s, and it's nothing like it was then. Of course, it's really great from what I'm hearing. And so I want to get down there and check it out. I'm not a rider. I don't get on all those rides or nothing like that, but I like to just see the people and see the facilities and take advantage of different things. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I've been down there a couple times.
Next to Disney World, come on now.
Universal Studios and Magic Kingdom and all of them.
Yeah,
I've been to quite a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my younger years.
Say it again.
My younger years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of our families gone down. They love going down a number of times, and everything. I just never did make it down. But do it while you can, folks. Get out there and do it, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, take advantage. So how did you spend Memorial Day weekend? What did you do?
Memorial Day, we were over at Carolyn's house.
Oh, okay.
Sister Carolyn White's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were over there, had a cookout and everything.
I see you honored Nellie.
Huh?
You honored
we
Nellie.
honored Nellie that Sunday before. Yep.
Yeah.
Was it after? Yeah, that Sunday before. And she had all her grandkids, and well, I think it was just 3 of her daughters. It was 2 of them that didn't come up because they were down south or something. But
they're down south. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Atlanta or someplace.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, it was a big turnout. It was people that came from Baltimore, and I forget where else. Some people came because they had all these stories about Nellie,
Yeah.
ministering to them and helping them. And you know, a lot of great stories. It was
Her
really,
and her husband are great people. They've been doing great work in this community for a long time. Yeah, good
yeah.
folks. Good folks.
I saw her this morning at the physical therapy. We were there together.
Oh, okay. You still go down to, is this physical therapy? Is that, well, that's not the chiropractor.
No, the physical therapy is a Bloom building out by and back of osteopathic.
Yeah,
And the chiropractor is Madeira. Wait,
yeah,
Madeira?
down in Hershey.
Yeah, in Hershey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to him. I went to him for about 7 years or so
Really?
and everything. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. 7 years. But anyhow, and in fact, I saw Nellie there before, her and her husband. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were going for your back?
No, actually, I was just going for general health. And then, unfortunately, he had someone come in, and the guy, I think, really was the reason why I am in the condition I'm in now. And I was really disappointed in that because, you know, he's really good. And
He's the what?
then his daughter, who was, I said, he is really good as a chiropractor. Madeira is.
Okay.
But he had a guy come in who was stepping in for his daughter for one, for a week or something like that. His daughter had a baby. She had 2 babies. In fact, and the second time she went out on maternity leave, he had this guy come in, and the guy worked on my neck, and that was the beginning of the problems that I'm having because he was just
Really?
real heavy-handed. And I remember
Oh.
thinking that didn't feel good, and it never recovered from that moment on. I've had other things that maybe I can say, yeah, that might have added to it too, but it started with that. And I'm not saying I would, against chiropractor. I enjoy chiropractor, but you got to have the right person, work on you.
Right.
And that guy, I didn't know him from Adam, never saw him before. And I go in, and he was, and he did that one thing when you lay to the side and push your head down. And I'm telling you, the way I'm like, this guy's kind of aggressive. And that was
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
That was it. And I ain't been back since. I said, nope, that's it for me.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyhow, it's all good. It's all good. Highly recommend it. Anybody's just trying to do it, they do it. I think chiropractor, at least he's very good. Him and his
Right.
yeah,
Is his name John?
Who?
The chiropractor, John?
Madeira. No. Is it John Madeira? No, I don't know. I forget.
Oh, I think the guy there now is named John.
Oh, there's a guy there named John.
Yeah, and then his family, his daughters or something.
Oh, his daughter is a chiropractor. Yeah, she got her license since I was going to. Yeah. She came back. Yeah. And then, he has a son that's there. I don't know. I've never seen a son work he's more building or something like that. But this guy was just someone that they brought in. I don't know who this guy was.
Okay.
And, so anyhow, and I went to him a few more times thinking, okay, let me, but nah.
Well, some people I've, told them I was going, they said, oh, I'm afraid to go to a chiropractor. People, I don't know what impression they got that, I don't know, they just afraid.
Well, back in the day, they used to crack your neck and all that kind of stuff. And some of them still do. And some people don't. Yeah, I had a gentleman I was working with, and he went to chiropractor all the time. And then all of a sudden, one day they rushed him from the chiropractors to Harrisburg Hospital, I think it was. And he said when the guy made the adjustment, it's like he went into a spasm. And, he said it had never happened before.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, he went into convulsions and had a reaction, and they had to rush him to the hospital right away. But that's, it could have been anything, but, and he got up in age by that time too. And so for them to do what they were doing, all that cracking and all that stuff, it wasn't good.
Well,
So
it's
anyhow,
all ages there. It's all ages. It's got kids coming in, getting their, adjustments and stuff. Surprised me about the kids.
Yeah. Like I said, I went to him for 7 years at least. And I saw a little bit of everybody there. All ages, like you said. And I used to look forward to it too. I mean, I really did. And then now I'm at the point where it's more about medicine and shots and all that stuff. Okay. And trying to get these muscles to loosen up. Because when I go like that, if I just pull my head back like that, it's like a rock. I'm telling you, it's like a rock. So those muscles are just grabbed hold and said, doof. But anyhow, let's do this here. For folks who, we're talking about everything under the sun here. But let the folks know that, we do have this writer's workshop every Friday night from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. We do put on a number of events. I told you about what's coming up in June. We do have, like I said, 2 events, June the 17th and June the 18th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. The 17th will be a breakfast from 8 a.m. until 12 noon at 900 South Arlington Avenue. And the breakfast is free. We'll be serving it until we run out. But we hope that you will come out and be a part of it. And, we're going to have all kinds of activities, the paint and sip, bingo and all these other things we're going to be doing. Just make it a lot of fun. We love to be able to do it. We're going to do it inside. We're not going to do it outside. We're just going to do it inside. And we're not going to take a chance on the weather. And, people come and go and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a great day. We're going to have a good time with that. And that, again, is going to be on the 18th will be at the State Museum, but on the 17th will be at 900 South Arlington Avenue. Now, one of the things we were disappointed in, we weren't able to get Sister Mafelda. Her schedule has changed, and she is not able to come up at the time we were hoping she could. So we did make the offer for her to join us on Sunday. But if not, what we're going to do is we're going to have her come up for our African storytelling. Our storytelling festival. It's not just African, but storytelling festival in October, and then also Kwanzaa in December. So we're looking forward, and she's just fantastic. If you haven't met her or seen her in action, you want to definitely catch her. But we also have some other people in mind we'll be working on, and I want to thank again Aetna Insurance for being a sponsor, as well as Giant Food. One of their stores has stepped up big time, and they're one of our sponsors as well. And when we had the event for the pre-Mother's Day, Giant Food brought us a staff of like some 8 people, and they set up, tore down, they ran the bingo games, helped to run the paint and sip. They were excellent. They were just absolutely excellent. And the same thing with Aetna. Aetna brought in a crew, and they had tables set up, and just did a great job for us. And they're helping to underwrite, the cost of our activity. So again, thank you to Aetna. Sister Kiara, thank you so much, Kiara. And also the manager, I know I'm going to miss his name, it might have been John, but anyhow, the manager of the Giant Food, who was helping us a great deal. So that's what's going on. And remember, almost everything we ever do is free, folks. When we talk about these events, we're not talking about, cost at all. We just want you to come out and have some fun. Don't forget, too, that in July, there's going to be a big event up in Reservoir Park on July the 15th. From 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Put that on your calendar now. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know Dred Scott and the local band that they have, which is outstanding, they'll be playing, but then they have a featured band that will be playing as well. It's all free, and they will have, from what I understand, food vendors or trucks up there in Reservoir Park. And it's called, I think it's like a Jazz Under the Stars kind of thing. But it's from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. And you don't want to miss that.
You said July what?
Sorry?
July what?
15th.
15.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's July the 15th. I could be wrong. I don't know if Brother, it's on Facebook, I know. And I don't know if Brother Chris can pull up if he has a flyer from that event. I saw 2 different flyers, one with the featured band and then another one with the Dred Scott and his group out of Harrisburg here. And they have a young lady that they're featuring, Melissa, somebody that will be coming up here. Maybe this is one of the flyers here. There you go. Oh, Mike Phelps. Okay. For the Road. Okay. And that's, Jazz Under the Stars, July 15th, 5 to 10. And it's got 100, is it 100? North 1000, 1 or 2. North Concert Drive. Or north or something like that. Yeah, I don't have my glasses not working.
I said the rain location is at the Forum.
Oh, yeah, it says if it's rain, it'll be at the Forum. Yes, rain location at the Forum. Glad you can see that. And then there's Dred Scott and his group, the Urban Groove Collective. I like that title, featuring Melissa Wilson. Okay, and special guest celebration of veterans. And there's a presentation again. There are food trucks and craft vendors. And it says bring chairs and blankets. This is a free event that July the 15th, which I think is a Saturday, right? Is that a Saturday? Yes, July the 15th, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And the rain event, again, will be at the Forum. Excellent, excellent. Good stuff. So yeah, check these things out. There's so much going on. And so, get yourself involved, folks, whatever you do. And I'm going to ask Brother Chris to bring up the next video for us real quick. You're talking to I'm Nate Gadsden, and this is the Writers Workshop, and this is Annette Swanson. And we've been doing this workshop thing for a long time now. And so glad that you're joining us.
Allow me to introduce the author of life, how he renewed my life to celebrate each day like it's the last. At age 14, the realization of Christ's eternal love became real to me, for faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. I am not perfect, but his love is, for it was his mercies that caused my thoughts and my fears to be released into the hands of the Creator. It's a possibility that my life is at risk for the faith that I live for, but it's a choice, and I choose to follow and obey him. For Paul says, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me, and the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I speak not for my benefit, but for your own benefit, for eternity. For there is no condemnation in those who are in Christ Jesus. Troubles may come and go. That's why I need Yahweh, the great I am, who gives life and strength to endure hardships and to help me worship him joyfully every day. Around the age of 17, my life was watered alive in a new and greater way. I turned to seek the Lord, and I was given a better perspective of his purpose for my life here on earth, where in scripture Matthew 28 says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always till the end of age." I believe in scripture because the Holy Bible is a given word that no man can fully comprehend the history and the wonderful deeds of Jesus who loves. Take it or leave it. Just remember you've been informed because you were formed for love, God the Father, the righteous one. And if no one had told me about this great God who is holy and mighty, how would I have known the good news that sets me free from this world of calamity, spiritually and emotionally? For I was locked in prison of my own soul and mind until I saw the true light to freedom of peace. For the light of Christ shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. At age 18, I stepped out to the unknown to meet other faith men and women of God. My first mission trip was in South Africa. Since then, every day is a mission to live for the gospel of Christ, and it's always a leap of joy to get God's word released to the nations. For the word of the Lord is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the divisions of the soul and of spirit, joints and of marrow, and discerning of the thoughts and intentions of the heart. His words kept me alive till this day and will forevermore. 19 was an age I stepped foot on the land of Australia. Trusting God, I still face hardships, but I endured by worshiping He who is great of all kings and Lord of all lords. At times I do not understand His plans for my life, but I still trust Him. Though I may not see Him, I still love Him. Though I let go my ways, there is peace. Now at age 20 and for all the days of my life, as long as the Spirit of the living God leads, I am free indeed. And as long as I am breathing here on earth, by faith I will not keep silent. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes. And living the gospel receives freedom from this world. By grace, I speak to you with heart, to reach out to whoever you may be who is listening, and to inspire those that it is not I who speaks, but He who is the hope that I live for, to live by faith and not by sight.
That was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. She said she's 20, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, she's 20. She's 20 now, and she says she started at a young age. So the seed got planted in her, and now she, like she says, she's not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And she got to spread the good news. I'm praying that the Lord will just give me a more bolder, to be bolder and speaking his word, especially to these young kids that are around here, because I don't like some of them's ways. God knows. But you know, they have souls and they need to be saved. They need to hear about Jesus. A lot of them. I heard some kids that came across the field yesterday to go to some girl's house up the street. I don't know if they were talking about fighting and all that stuff. And so I just stood outside and I just watched them. Yeah. Because I said, and I knew the girl's mom wasn't home, but one of the older sisters was there. So nothing really happened. It's just that their language was so terrible. I just couldn't believe, well, I did believe it, but the language that they were talking and saying things, it was just horrible. Yeah. And I know it started in the home. So some of them got.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, you know, and I can't say we didn't have that back when I was growing up, because I grew up around some guys who you just say to yourself, man, what were y'all thinking? Who, you know, what's this all about? But what's the say? Let's see. Oh, Brother Snowden joined us. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Hello there.
Okay.
Thanks for yourself.
Good, real good. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah. But you know, Nanette, you were so right. I mean, you just wonder where they're coming from. And you know, I heard something that said a lot of times people are doing it, they're fronting. They're trying to pretend that they're harder than what they are and all that kind of stuff, because basically inside they feel powerless. So they think about acting out and saying all that crazy stuff, it gives them power, makes them tough. But actually it's destructive. You know, it's very destructive, and they don't want to own up to that, because truthfully they know they're not that person.
These were kids. I mean, these were young kids.
Yeah. And so it's like, what are you imitating? Who are you imitating? You know, because come on now, it's a learned behavior, right?
Yeah.
And I did it once at the with elementary school. And I said, what was the thing? I said, we were in class and they said something. I said, I said to myself, what the hell? And they was like, oh, they couldn't believe it. They was all jumping. They said, oh my goodness, you can't say hell. And I said, really? I said, I can't say hell. You know, I said, oh my goodness, you know. And so the teacher, she was just obviously like, you know, and I was like, speaking. I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, when I came through that door today, here you guys are in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And I'm hearing all kinds of cussing out there in the playground. I said, you mean to tell me I can't come here and say that word? I said, do you know what I heard? And they was up there looking at each other. But that's the truth, though. It's like you actually act all surprised, you know, and here you are out there cussing up a storm, calling each other names, all that kind of stuff. And I said, and don't tell me your teachers don't hear it. I said, I know that they don't always jump on you because they have to do it every day. But yeah, I heard it. And I was just coming into the building, you know? So really? You know, some of them reciting lyrics from songs.
Yeah.
You know, come on now.
They just don't know. They don't know how destructive it is and what they sound like.
Yeah, what they sound like.
A lot of them don't go to church. Your parents don't go to church, you know. Like I said, we were like pretty much raised in the church, and my mom made us go and stuff. But these kids, you know, they don't know anything about church or God.
Well, I will tell you though, I was asked to speak out there, not far from your church, during South Harrisburg, let's put it that way. And it was what church? But I think it was a Church of God in Christ. I could be wrong, but anyhow, they had a number of children there and they asked me to speak to them. And they were young kids too. And they were, you know, doing that little thing, and the teacher, the apostle had to get on them, and you know, the whole bit. Some of them are exposed. And that wasn't a Sunday, that was like a Wednesday night. And there must have been at least 10 elders in there. And the one lady, she helped raise me. She was in there doing her thing and everything, and she was getting on them, and she had them disciplined and, you know, that kind of stuff. But they were still doing that little thing, going back and forth that, someone's hitting somebody, someone's saying something, whatever. But they come from a tough area. I see where a young man just ran into Hall Manor and took over a family, and the cops had to stand off for 5 hours?
I drove by that. I said, "Oh, look at the SWAT team," And then I heard, he had, kidnapped or whatever they said he did.
Yeah. Well, they were running after him, and so he runs into someone's house. The mother, I think, if I got this right, the mother got out the house with her oldest son, but the little baby was left in it. She couldn't get to the baby, and so he was in that house for 5 hours with that child. Little baby, and then I think he finally surrendered. I don't know if he ever fired any shots or not, but that's some dangerous stuff, Well,
they said he pointed a gun at them.
Yeah, he did point the gun at him. Yeah,
so
yes, he did.
I don't know what they expected. His sister was trying to defend his actions, and I'm thinking, if he pointed a gun at, and then he's going to go in somebody's house,
you're looking to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's all dressed in black, and we're acting weird.
Yeah, that's not good, not at all. Hey, Dr. Dan, I know you probably have something you want to read tonight. Did you have a piece you want to share?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. Why don't you go on and do that?
Okay. Well, let's find one here because I got quite a few to choose from. So
okay, well, just let me know when you're ready, and we'll, I do want to mention again, everybody, that we hope that you'll come out next Saturday. We're having a writers retreat. And I hope Brother Chris can pull that flyer up one time for us. He created a beautiful flyer for us. And the writers retreat will be down at Elizabethtown College. We're going to go from 11 until 6. I was asked to speak to a group of chaplains to the Church of God in Christ. So and I said, well, and I don't want to, miss the thing. So we're going to do it from 11 to 6. And there it is, the writers retreat. And it's at the Bowers Writers House. And there's the address, as you can see. And it's a wonderful facility. That's actually, that picture is a picture of the Bowers Writers House. We have one of our Saturday retreats, and we hope that you'll come down and join us. It's all free, and we keep it moving. We keep it interactive. You will get a chance to not only create some works, but also to share those works. And we always have a little lunch together and little snacks along the way, and we write, and talk. We share with one another. Okay. So anyhow, so Brother Dan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm set to go. This one is actually one that I did at one of the retreats.
Oh, wonderful.
It's called, let me bring it up here. It's called Approaches to Solving Problems. I'll bring that guy up here and we'll start this up. Where'd he go? I had it up there a few minutes ago, but the Approaches to Solving Problems, that's definitely one that I wrote.
Okay.
While we were doing a retreat, I think it was just maybe a year or two ago.
Okay.
And that worked. And where was that guy at? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I had that thing up here just a few minutes ago, and now it's gone. I gotta find him again. That's hang. I gotta find that guy. Where'd he go? Where's that? Where'd that sucker guy?
By the way, one of the things we'll be talking about in the near future is
here we are.
Here
he goes.
With the Police Athletic League, and I'll be talking to Dr. Charles Stewart. He called me, and we're going to put together some things, and I'm excited about being able to collaborate with the PAL, the Police Athletic League, and Dr. Charles Stewart. I'll tell you more about that as we go. Okay, Dr. Dan.
Here he is. Yep, got him right here. Approaches to solving problems. Sooner or later, we'll all have problems, which may last for the short term or the long. The methods that are used to resolve these should be numerous and made very strong. Problems may receive their resolutions even before they can ever be born. In this case, planning and perseverance can ensure that problems are never born. Another way to approach these problems is encountering them at their sources. Here, the problem can become starved of food, which then leads them from us to divorces. Those pesky problems can also be met by opposing forces after they've spread. In applying the proper mix of tools, the problem shall likely end up quite dead. There are times when problems become so large that more than one approach may be needed. Thus, using multiple resolving tricks make for the problem's whims going unheeded. As shown here, problems are ubiquitous, making us all quite exasperated. Yet, once the shared resolutions are used, problems are just best eviscerated.
Mhm. Good stuff. I remember that. That's a good piece. I like that. Yeah.
Yep, definitely came from one of the retreats, that's for sure.
All right. How did you spend your Memorial Day weekend? Anything exciting?
Oh yes, I was down at the Arts Fest, and I did get to hear Dread Perky Scott.
Okay, good stuff.
Yep. Oh, exactly. I mean, well, I took in the other. I mean, I heard other artists playing other music performers, of course, both at the jazz fest, the jazz stage, and the State Street stage, and also got to look at there are more than 150 different types of artisans were there as well. So yeah, it was a pretty nice time.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I was saying to everybody that Dred Scott's band will be up in Reservoir Park on July the 15th, which is a Saturday, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then also another band will be featured there as well. And if it rains that day, they're going to take it over to the Forum. So it should be a really good time. And this is all free. And there you go, brother. Dred just brought it up. Urban Groove Collective, like I said, with the Reverend Brother Dred Scott and others, and also featuring, Melissa Wilson is the featured singer. I'll take it she's a singer, and she'll be featured there that day. It's going to be a good time. And then they have another band as well. It's going to be there same day. And there you go, Mike Phillips, and Mike Phillips and his band will be there for the Road is the name of that group. For the Road. I like it. Good. So, it's up there at the band shell, and look forward to it and have yourself a great time. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Can't
indeed.
say
Don't
nothing
forget
ain't
to-
happening in Harrisburg.
Huh?
They can't say nothing ain't happening in Harrisburg.
Oh my goodness, there's a whole list out. I feel bad. I need to grab that list. I'm gonna try to grab hold of that thing tomorrow and then print it off. But anyhow, for Juneteenth, there's a lot going on from the city of Harrisburg to just everybody. Has stuff, different churches, and groups are putting on things. The county's probably putting on something as well. So yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be good stuff. Yeah, folks, no matter where you are, if you're viewing this program, look around your community and find out what's happening on Juneteenth and just what's happening in general. A lot of times there are jazz programs or, different singers that are coming in. Who knows? I know that one local church, I say local, was down in York, I believe, a few weeks back, had CC Winans. And I mean, it was a huge turnout. I don't know who that church was, but they turned it out. Terry went down, Terry Martinez, and she said it was really well done. It was a major concert. And hats off to that church, whoever they were. And there's other groups around, doing things. So yeah, take advantage of that stuff. Get involved, Yes, indeed. Did Nanette, are you able to join us in these? Oh, you won't be here. That's right. During the Juneteenth thing.
I'm going to be down at my daughter's.
Yeah.
Her housewarming and stuff.
Okay. And did you know that Ro Brady is moving out of the area? Moving to
That's
Washington,
what I meant
D.C.?
to ask you. Where'd she move to?
Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yes.
Now, is it her husband's job or something that took him
Yes.
there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He has an appointment, really significant appointment, and they decided to move to DC. I'm like, what? That's fantastic. Of course, she can always still get on this platform. It's just, Zoom, and everything. But I hope that she'll continue to have ties here because she just did a wonderful play with Maria Chow, Hair Story. And so her talent is immense, and she'll definitely be missed. But I hope that she will continue to stay connected to the Wordshop.
Did she sell her house?
Apparently so. And if they haven't sold it, they're going to sell it. But yeah, they're selling the
Wow.
house, I'm sure. And then they're moving down to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
I mean, that's like, major, major move.
Yes, it is.
Mhm. Yeah, no question. But yeah, hats off to them and everything. So, there we go with that. Oh, here you go. Juneteenth celebration. And this is is this the city of Harrisburg? Well, no, it's Thursday, June the 15th. Wow. It says the Harrisburg Senator game, First National Bank field. And the game starts at 6:30 p.m. Select festivities will begin at 5:30 p.m. And you can see that the person throwing out the ball will be 100-year-old Hetty Love. Come on now, Mrs. Love.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something? And I
Yes,
see
that's
her.
wonderful.
That's
wonderful.
That's fantastic. And you see where Brother Cobber Brunson of the AXO, NACP and AXO is going to be featured there as well. Oh boy, the whole lineup, all these great people that are listed there in this poster.
Miss Barbara Thomas.
I can see it. Say it again.
Miss Barbara Thompson.
Oh yeah. Barbara and Sterling Thompson. It was just featured in one of our local magazines. Tremendous history in terms of what they've been involved in. And Barbara, for sure, has been part of the Pennsylvania Black Conference on Higher Education for a long time.
Oh, she's helped my granddaughter.
Barbara Barksdale. We all know Barbara Barksdale and all that she's been doing with the, there's a Midland Cemetery and so many other great things. Jamara Johnson. Okay, right on. And then I'm probably going to mess up her name. Hager, the sister right there. And yeah. And then, the Jameson family. And also Wilhelmine, Scott, Amy. Okay. Special events, special activities. Oh man, it's gonna be nice. So get yourself over to the Giant field there on Juneteenth. It's gonna be Thursday, June the 15th, starting at 5:30 p.m. And this is great. They're celebrating Juneteenth at the Senators game. All right now.
I gotta get my calendar and put all this stuff in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will definitely funnel to Brother Chris that list out of UPMC so he can inform the public about all those things as well. Yeah. So that was this June the 15th at the Senators game, 5:30 p.m.
Yep.
June the 15th. And also don't forget June the 10th, we're having our retreat. Okay. Oh, there's another one. Sunday, June 18th. And what time is this? A day of fun and entertainment for the entire family. Okay, music by what's that there? DJ Lee Rowe, something like that. Where's this being held, Brother Chris?
This is it's brought to you by Young Professionals of Color.
Nice.
I don't see a location unless it's underneath where I can't see.
It must be underneath, yeah. I noticed it's June the 18th. That's the same day we're doing our thing there at the State Museum. We're going to have all kinds of different things as well. And that's the other thing. There's no coordination. I mean, everybody's just doing something. But that's good, though. Everybody can't go to everything. And so we hope that people will turn out to all the events. Don't stay home. Get out there and get involved. It's just for a couple hours. That's all. And have yourself some fun. And so, yeah. So we hope to drive people down to the State Museum, down to this particular program there. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on, And ours is from 12 until 4, And again, we're gonna have the Winneman African Dance Troupe who's gonna show you how to do African dance, and they're gonna show you how to drum as well. And then we're gonna have some vendors, a lot of vendors, and just a lot of good things going on. So come on out and support, folks. Come on out and support. And what you do is you support community, because this is not a fundraiser by any stretch of imagination. We don't, we're not charging anything. We're not making any money. It's about supporting community. That's all it's about. Okay. All right. So let me see something else here. I see how my coloring on that. I'm gonna hit myself once. Boom. Okay, there it goes. Hey, brother, Dr. Dan Snowden, can you give us another poem?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then, Brother Chris, after Dr. Dan, if you can give us another piece. Yeah, something that's, just if you can give us another video, that'd be fine.
Ready?
Okay, yep.
All right, let's bring this one here. I'll go up to, I'm going to go to my first piece, the first one I ever did, and that would be Different.
Okay.
Yes, it's true, people. I am very different from most mainstream persons. I tend to enjoy a somewhat unusual array of things that you'll find among these verses. Board games and game shows, model kit contests and comic book conventions. These are the events that I revel in with purely good intentions. But it doesn't stop here. Oh my heavens, no. We still have museums and nature shows to go. Rock and mineral clubs, gem and jewelry shows. When it comes to events like these, most anything goes. There's more where this came from. Here, take a peek. This person sees things like political and poetry events simply très chic. And let's not forget about another matter I favor. Sporting events, both as participant and spectator, fall among the many things that I savor. Yes, it's true, I am very different, as anyone can plainly see, but these things that make me different are simply things that make me me.
Good, good. Yes, indeed.
Very good.
Yeah, that is. That's a good, honest piece. Yeah.
That's the pilot poem I did for the Writers' Workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask for the last video of tonight if Brother Chris can bring that up, and then we'll do a little wrap up. Living with mental illness. Okay.
At 16, I wanted to die. Now I'm 22 and sometimes I still want to. Only I'm afraid to try to. No one understands. You don't understand what it feels like to live in this body. This body is a vessel, struggling to contain all of my pain. I have a lot of pain, more than you realize, more than one's shoulders could bear. See, it started when I was 5, 6, 7. I watched my family feud, and there was nothing I could do as a child surrounded by so much anger. At 9, I fell in love with dancing. But fat kids don't dance, they said. I was body shamed, and their words cut me deeper than knives could on bare skin, and I've held on to those scars for years. Just long enough to starve myself at age 12. At age 12, I ate only what was necessary to feel skinny, thinking maybe I can just shed off the memories. At 16, I wanted to die. And now I'm 22 and sometimes I still want to. Only I'm afraid to try to. Would you miss me if I did? Would you feel sorry for bullying me like you did? Would you? I know that I will get better. I'm not sure when or how, but I will. One day. What is up, you guys? It's your boy, Ron Banks, and as always...
That's a good piece, yeah. You know, this last month, I guess it was Mental Health Awareness Month, during the month of May. And there were a lot of activities and, you know, different things on TV and everything about that. And so to me, it's not a month, it's a year-long celebration. We have to always remember that mental health doesn't go away, and it affects so many people. They just had a piece up prior to this video. Brother Chris set up and it said at the beginning that anxiety, because there was a piece on anxiety, is probably the number one, you know, mental health issue in this country. And we don't think of anxiety as being a mental health issue, but it is. You know, it can take you and make you think that you're getting ready to die, fall off a cliff, do whatever. And it can just take your mind away. I had a person who called me one day and they needed help. And the reason why is because they were driving in Stilton, and all of a sudden they had this anxiety attack that made them literally stop their car in the middle of the street. They were afraid to get ready to crash, and they got out the car and they just walked into a store. And people were like, what is this person doing? And the guy asked for help. He said, can you call somebody? He said, I'm having an anxiety attack. And the guy, thanks, that the store owner kind of knew that this guy wasn't hiring anything. He called for help for him. And then he asked me to call me. Then he called me. And it was like, hey, man, and so he had to go get some help. Yeah, he said it just came on him like crazy. And I've experienced anxiety. I don't know if any of you've ever experienced anxiety, but anxiety that's rough. And again, that can be a mental, health issue because it's all about the mind, playing tricks on you or whatever. So keep that in mind. And we have so many mass shootings these days. You never know when someone's snapping. And of course, conservatives are saying guns don't kill people, people kill people. No, you put the guns in the hand of somebody who's mentally ill, and that's So we'd like to say that we're going to, solve mental illness. That can happen to anybody, and they start breaking down. But the fact that guns are so readily available, and one person wrote an article that said that we don't want to see the aftermath of these shootings because a lot of times when they're using these AR-15s or whatever they use, they said it's pretty much blowing these bodies apart. They said it's not just, they say they make it sound on TV like, oh, they got shot. I said, no, I mean, they got blown apart by these crazy things. So anyhow, I digress.
And
By the way, June is Black Music Month.
Oh, it is?
June is Black Music Month.
Oh, okay.
We've been celebrating that for years now, but a lot of people, it's not as, big, but I listen to it all the time on the radio and they, and they start playing all the different songs and different people celebrating Black Music Month, June.
I never knew that.
Yep. It sure is. Yeah. Have you thought about making a record lately? Or, I say records, but you know what I'm saying, CD, DVD, CD, whatever.
No, I haven't. I was trying to get Larry to, I already gave him the music the songs that my brother wrote. And of course I can't pressure him, it has to be inspired, I guess, or you got to feel it. So I haven't, he hasn't really got back to me about that. So, I mean,
I think you should. I think the piece you did with the enslavement songs, though, and if you just took and created your own little, history and piece on that, that would be powerful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. And that's one thing I want to thank you for over the years. You've come into the Wordshop, especially when we were down at the Midtown Scholar bookstore. You used to come in and sing, whereas everybody else was trying to do poetry, whatever you were saying. And, those words were powerful. That's what it's all about,
I enjoyed it.
Songwriting is an art form,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Have you ever thought about writing lyrics to a song?
Not really. No. I guess it has to be inspired,
Yeah, it does. But you've been so many places and different things that you've been involved in. Plus, the church, you're so deeply involved in church. I would imagine you get inspiration from a whole bunch of places.
I probably won't know that until, I guess, after I'm gone.
No. You'll know it right now. But, I think what it is like we have the opportunity. The question is, do we concentrate on that? Is that what we focus on, Because you can just take in the moment. That's fine, too. Or you can actually say, you know what? And you see something. I like this little commercial. The guy jumps up and breaks the backboard of a basketball. Man, the glass is breaking, but the other guy was an artist. He's sitting in the audience and he's visualizing this mosaic. A backboard is made of this mosaic. And he said, the creative mind never stops. And everybody else is looking at the glass falling on the ground and we need to pick it up. And he's looking at it like, wow, that would be beautiful. We did this or that. It's amazing how certain people see things, Yeah. Anyhow, we are writers. I do want to, again, congratulate all of the winners who are gold medalists for AXO. They should be taking some 16 gold medalists to Boston, Massachusetts this year. And again, hats off to Cobber Brunson I noticed that he was receiving a check for about $1,300 on Facebook from, I think it was the Kiwanis, something like that, Harrisburg Kiwanis Club. And he has literally single-handedly, more than anybody else over the last X amount of years, 20-something years, raised the funds to send these young people to these major places when they have these AXO national competition. And believe me, that is no easy feat to raise that kind of money and then to fly or take a bus, whatever it takes. He sets it all up and gets it going. You know, Pat and I help out. His daughter helps out, but he really is the person that he puts in blood, sweat, and tears to that organization. And so hats off to him and to everybody involved in ACP, and all the young people took time to compete at the highest level. And there's no shame in not winning, by the way. Just because you didn't win a medal didn't mean you didn't compete. You competed. And only 3 people can get a medal. There's only 1 bronze, 1 silver, and 1 gold. So it's not a matter of, because we could have had 2 golds, 2 silver, but no, if there's 2 golds, the person who scores the highest, let's say they have a 98, the other one has a 97, because the gold is 95 to 100. So if a person has a 98, another person has a 97, then you have to have the 98 win the gold, the 97 has to win the silver. We automatically bounce it back, and that's too bad. So that's just letting you know that, that's a wonderful picture that is proud to sponsor. Milton Hershey Schools, proud to sponsor the AXO Awards. And there's Janice Baldwin, there's Cobba Murray, and there's Cobba's granddaughter there too. I forget her name. I think that's her. Or maybe she's no, that might be the poet. I'm not sure. But anyhow, real great event, and just a lot of fun. And I want to thank you, Nanette, for being a judge for a number of years now. Thank you so much for giving us the time.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, I do too. Every year.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, listen, I know we're going to wrap up in just a couple minutes here. Did you have anything else to say for the good of the order, Nanette?
No, I'm good. I'm going to a prayer breakfast tomorrow at the Best Western with the Capital City Church, River of God.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll be pretty busy tomorrow after I get done with that.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, enjoy it. And Brother Dan, did you have anything to share or a short piece that you want to read?
Well, the shortest piece I can think of would be this haiku that I had done.
Okay.
And let's scroll down here closer to the, here, let me get this guy down here, because this is just a haiku, and it's just called, it's Life, a Haiku.
Mm-hmm.
That thing we call life is both simple and complex, connecting us all.
Yeah.
Oh,
say it one more
okay.
time.
Oh, yeah, sure. That thing we call life is both simple and complex, connecting us all.
Right.
All right. Connecting us all. Amen.
Yeah.
And on that note, I want to thank everybody for tuning in every Friday night. Here we are. Again, thanks to The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. Pastor Chris Thomas keeps us alive. And, please remember to check out channels as well. Brother Chris, how can people get to the channels? We have a Wordshop channel and a Life Esteem channel and the other channels that are there. And there's content on those channels. We need to put more on there. And I intend to do that. And I don't know if you can bring that little poster up, Brother Chris, before we leave out.
1 second, Dr. Gadsden.
I'll say it again. I'm sorry.
I said just 1 second, sir.
Oh, no, take your time. Take your time. Mm-hmm. He usually brings that stuff up so quick. It's like,
Thank you, Brother Chris, for all you do.
Praise the Lord. We appreciate you guys for taking part as well, and thank you for your prayers and support.
Right. Okay.
So here we go, Dr. Gadsden.
All right.
So just simply
voicetv.org.
Yes, sir. Voicetv.org, and then check the program schedule for either the Life Esteem channel or the Writers Wordshop channel. And again, they air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right from Voice TV, not The Voice TV, just voicetv.org.
Okay, fantastic. VoiceTV.org. We're going there in a few minutes here. Check it out. Everybody have yourself a blessed weekend, and I hope to see you next Friday.
You too.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Buddy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a great time.